You're ready to get back into yoga, so you ordered the essentials, a non-slip mat, yoga blocks to keep balance, and an exercise ball. And you used your Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential yoga gear, noise canceling headphones. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
If you're looking for the next best thing to invest in, try investing in your long-term health with Forward. Forward is intelligent medicine with a personal touch. Their doctors are dedicated to catching top killers like cancer and heart disease early, which could save you tens of thousands of dollars in the long run. So invest in a doctor that's invested in you. Visit GoForward.com to learn more about how Forward can help you manage your long-term health risks for one flat monthly fee. That's GoForward.com.
It's Friday, June 18th, and you're tuned into the Cleveland Baseball Talk podcast. I'm Joe Noga, joined by Paul Hoynes, our Tribe beat writer. Hoynes in Pittsburgh, where the Indians are about to open a 3-game weekend series against the Pirates. But we're going to look back on this 7-game homestand first. The Indians taking, 6 out of 7 on the homestand against the Orioles and the Mariners. The only loss coming, ironically enough, in a Shane Bieber start on Sunday. And, we all know what happened after that. The Indians put their ace on the injured list. But since then, the pitching staff has sort of rallied and responded. Now, and I say pitching staff, Hoynesy, because really there is no rotation right now, is it? It's just sort of whoever's ready is going to pitch.
Yeah, there's Aaron Savali and 4 question marks and 4 guys that I guess are kind of long relievers, or maybe not even long relievers, kind of 3-inning relievers, and then let's go to the bullpen.
Yeah, I think we made fun of it. We made light of it after the Zach Plesac injury, and we had all those rainout situations where we were saying, "Oh, it's Aaron and Shane and pray for rain." Now it's just Aaron. It's unless your name is Aaron Savali, you really don't know when or how you're going to be used on this pitching staff. And is it me, or does it seem like Tito and Carl Willis, they're not happy about having to do this, but they're looking forward to the challenge. They're saying, hey, we're coming to the park every day. We're figuring out the next day's rotation and who we're going to use right after each game. It's a challenge, but as long as these guys are able to respond the way they have been, they're attacking this challenge. They're doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, that's a great point, Joe. I know these last 3 games against Baltimore, or the bullpen has pitched more innings than any of the starters. Even Savali only went 5 innings, and it's just I think they have embraced this challenge. They're kind of it's I don't know how long, but this is it's really interesting to see what they're doing. And the big thing is the buy-in they're getting from those the whole pitching staff, right? Basically all 14 guys.
Right. Tito talked in the post-game yesterday about how this 4-game sweep of Baltimore really helps with the buy-in. He can go back to that clubhouse and look those guys in the eyes and say, look, when we do this and when everybody buys in and everybody does what we need of them, there are results here. Now, granted, it was against Baltimore, and Baltimore has lost 19 straight games on the road now after Thursday's game. So the competition isn't necessarily there. And you're going to Pittsburgh where, and Pittsburgh's not exactly leading the National League East. This is a stretch of games here. After Chicago, 2 games against the Cubs, you're going to Minnesota, and Minnesota's in the basement in the AL Central. This is a stretch of games where if they need to get their feet under them in this new process, in this new, trying to figure things out kind of with the pitching staff role, this is the time to do it against teams that aren't necessarily, the tops in their division.
Yeah, Joe, it's the schedule is kind of broken their way, I guess, if you can say that. But, I just wonder, how long you can ask these guys to do this. I mean, you can ask them all you want, and they can say, yes, yes, yes. We'll go out there, but when does that adrenaline rush kind of wear off? And when does reality set in? And usually, I have a theory. When and there's no, I don't have any vital statistics to back it up, but
so it's less of a theory; it's more of a hypothesis. Then go ahead.
Yeah. And when a team suffers a big injury, there seems to be a rallying point. Kind of the rest of the team rallies, and they play pretty well for a period of time, and then they kind of then everybody wakes up, everybody figures out just how big a loss they suffered, and the performance maybe declines a little bit. And I think the Indians are kind of still in that heady feeling that they banded together after losing Bieber and Plesac and a bunch of other guys, and they're gonna take this as far as they can.
Yeah, like a little bit of a bump. There's like a little bit of a rallying bump right after the injury. They play really well. They play a little bit, maybe more than what they're capable of. Not necessarily capable of, but maybe above their level a little bit. And then you're right. Reality sets in, and you remember that baseball isn't a small sample, sprint. It's a long run, and over the long run, those guys fall back. So is maybe that what we're seeing with Bobby Bradley? Because he's performing pretty well right now since he came up offensively, and you combine him with the Ahmed Rosario being hot at the plate, and they give you a little bit of offense to sort of fall back on with these young pitchers to sort of give them a little confidence when they go out there. That was the case yesterday with Eli Morgan getting 3 runs after the first inning, and he was able to come back and settle in after that.
Yeah, Bobby Bradley's been really hot, and you just got to wonder what is going through that front office's mind right now, and said, how could we keep this kid down there for 2 months in Columbus, and while he's already outperformed, Jake Bauers. I mean, it's crazy, but good for Bobby Bradley. He's hot, and you're right. With Ahmed Rosario, and him hitting in the second spot, Bobby hitting fifth or fourth or fifth or sixth, wherever he's hitting, that's really giving them some juice. And and Jose Ramirez has been consistently excellent since opening day. Right.
I tend to just take for granted right now, and not even mention the fact that Jose Ramirez hit a 2-run home run in the first inning yesterday, and basically launched the Indians to their win. That was a 3-0 pitch. He knew he was going to get a sinker, a fastball. He looked in and just drove it to right field. Jose Ramirez doing Jose Ramirez things right now. It's kind of boring for me to talk about. I don't even want to bring it up anymore. But we'll mention a little later on. We'll mention some of the things from this homestand and I'm sure he'll pop up there. Okay, so this homestand coming off of 6 wins in 7 games against Seattle, Baltimore, not exactly the greatest competition. Where do the Indians go from here as they head to Pittsburgh? What is sort of the expectation out of this pitching staff? I believe you have J.C. Mejia going tonight against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we saw Mejia. I think he gave up a couple runs against Seattle last time. I think it was Seattle his last start. Pitched 3 or 4 innings. They held him back so he's going to go on short 3 days rest, because he pitched Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So he's pitching on short rest. Then we've got Quantrill, I should say, and Quantrill, and they're bringing lefty Henkes out of the.
Henkes is going to start on Sunday.
Yeah, so and they're all in the same mold. 3-4 inning guys, and kind of cross your fingers and hope the bullpen is ready and rested, and as rested as can be.
Okay, Hoinsey, here we go. I'm going to give you 6 names here: Ryan Peake, Chad Kuhl, Will Crow, Daniel Adair, Mitch Guinden, and JT Brubaker. 3 of those guys are pitchers that are going to start for the Pirates against the Indians this weekend, and 3 of those guys are current or former members of the band Nickelback. And I can guarantee you, without looking at the game notes in front of you, that you can't name which ones are which for the Pirates. You can't name the 3 pitchers for the Pirates because I sure couldn't.
I'm thinking, Joe, I might have an advantage over you here because I did the on deck fact.
Well, there you go. You wrote up the preview, so you know who's who.
So I'm going Kroll, Burbank or
Brubaker,
and Krull. Krull, is it Krull?
Kull, Kuhl, Kull. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I would have been more surprised if you would have known the Nickelback.
I wouldn't have known those guys.
That would have been pretty surprising, but that just illustrates the point. Regardless of how I think the Indians' young pitchers perform this weekend, I think the Indians are going to have a chance against the Pirates because, who are these guys they're facing?
And the Pirates have lost 10 straight, Joe. And
wow.
2 of those 3 starting pitchers are 0-4. So, they're going to have a chance. But the thing is, Pittsburgh can hit a little bit, and they've got who's the kid? Brian Hayes?
Brian Hayes, yes.
He had a great series against the Indians last year.
Didn't he have like 9 straight hits in 9 straight at-bats against the Indians last year?
He had just a great series. And as long as he's healthy, he's going to be dangerous.
There's never been a better time to register for Indians Subtext and get all your Cleveland Indians news with updates from Cleveland.com reporters Paul Hoynes and Joe Noga. Get on board now by going to joinsubtext.com/Cleveland Indians. Our subscriber-based service gives you the latest news, analysis, and more from the Indians. For $3.99 a month, you get everything we're hearing from the team and the first word before things are announced. We text you big breaking news directly to your phone, even before it's up on Cleveland.com. And you can text us directly with your questions and opinions on everything from the team's name to that day's lineup. And it's the only way to get your questions and comments on the Cleveland Baseball Talk podcast. Why sign up? Hear from one of our subscribers.
I'm Jeff Heinerson. I grew up there in Milan, Ohio, but I now live out in Idaho. I've been here for 40 years, and my son was born and raised here, and I got him as a birthday present your subtext. And I wanted to thank Paul for sending him a birthday greeting and to tell you that he is really enjoying the subtext. He's not from Ohio, but because he grew up with me, he's hardcore Indian fan. So thanks again.
Jeff and all of our Indian Subtext subscribers agree. There's a lot going on with the Indians, and the best way to keep up is with Indian Subtext. Go to joinsubtext.com/Cleveland Indians, or better yet, text Hoynesy at 216-208-4346. Again, that's 216-208-4346. We look forward to hearing from you on Indian Subtext.
You're ready to get back into yoga, so you ordered the essentials, a non-slip mat, yoga blocks to keep balance, and an exercise ball. And you used your Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential yoga gear, noise canceling headphones. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Welcome to more.
Picture this, a hard-shell taco wrapped in a soft tortilla with buffalo queso in between. Sound too good to be true? Well, you're in luck. We've teamed up with our friends at Frank's Red Hot to bring you something both mind-blowing and thirst-inducing. But don't worry, our limited-time buffalo queso pairs perfectly with any of your faves. Chips, quesadilla, burrito, nachos, you get the picture. Get yours today at Moe's.com or on our app.
Right. So, it should be a fun series to watch. Let's at this point, let's just wrap up the homestand here with I want to do a top 3. What 3 moments or aspects of the Indians' last 7-game homestand really stand out? Number 3, I think we decided on was the bullpen.
Yeah, the bullpen. Geez, I mean, especially with especially with those, with Karinchak and Class A pitching 3 days in a row against the Orioles and just shutting things down in the 8th and 9th inning. Just really, really impressive, those two guys.
Yeah, the back end of the bullpen, Shaw pitched in 2 of those games. I believe he gave up a run in at least one of them, but particularly Karinchak and Class A, they were on fire. They and they worked 3 straight games. That's more. We asked Chris Antonetti the other day. Is there a hard limit to the number of innings these guys can work, sort of in this new normal for the Indians? And he said, well, I don't think we've ever really had a reliever work 4 straight days, and that might hold true. So that might be the only hard and fast rule that's going to come of this new pitching situation for the Indians. All right, number 2, I think really the standout performance on the weekend, or this, since last weekend, Bobby Bradley. His numbers on the homestand in those 7 games, 364 with a 1213 OPS, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, and Bobby Bradley only struck out 7 times in 25 plate appearances. Pretty good for a guy who if you let him go, he'd probably strike out 130 times in a season.
Yeah, just a great homestand for Bradley. He came up and joined him on the road, so this was really his first homestand since really 2019. And Ramirez hits the 2-run homer yesterday in the first. He follows it up with another home run, going the other way to over the left field. He kind of just snuck over the left field. The 19-foot wall
may or may not have been aided by a fan. We won't say anything about that.
But he's hit well, Joe. He's run the bases well, and what did he say? He only unbuttons the top 2 buttons of his uniform jersey because he doesn't like odd numbers. Is that what I think? That's what he said.
Hey, if that's what's working for you, unbutton it to your belly button. If that's going to help you hit a home run. I don't care. Let's see it. Let's see the full Bobby Bradley here. I think of particular note, it's the fact that when he falls behind in counts, he's looking to put the ball in play the other way. He knows that he can hit the ball hard the other way, and he's done that on several occasions already this, in the short time that he's been up. If Bobby Bradley, I remember a Hall of Famer who, when he was hitting the ball to left field, you knew he was going well. That was Jim Thome. I'm not trying to compare the two, but there's just something about those big power hitting left-handers. If they're hitting the ball and staying on it the other way, that they're going good.
Yeah, definitely. And he's been just a pleasant surprise since he came up. And, everybody was wondering why the Indians stayed with Jake Bauer so long, and they've got to be wondering even more now, based on how Bradley has started his big league, his second shot at the big leagues here.
All right, the number 1 moment that we sort of decided on from this past Indians homestand has to be none other than the Jose Ramirez trip around the bases. Jose turning a line drive base hit into 3 bases by being alert. Maybe actually getting himself in a little bit of a predicament at first, but then having the wherewithal to look ahead to third base and see that there was no one covering after getting in a rundown. That was just peak Jose Ramirez, right? It was just vintage man running with his hair on fire at some point.
His helmet was coming off.
The helmet didn't even make it to second base.
He's like the road runner, and he just you can't stop him. He's like he was just going to run till he got tagged out, or he made it. Or he got to third base safely. I like how he finally got to third base and just kind of hugged it. He looked like he was going to take a nap there or something.
Well, it's something actually. I went back and looked at the video. After Chris Antonetti mentioned something, we asked him about it yesterday, and he mentioned if you look at the video, Ramirez actually takes a peek down at home plate, and if I believe it was Freddie Galvis, if he doesn't make a move like he's going to go cover home plate, there was a chance that Jose would have gotten up and run for home, and that would have just people would have gone out of their minds.
Oh my!
If he would have been able to accomplish that. But go back and look at the video. He does kind of take a peek down there at home, and if the Orioles didn't at least send somebody down there to stand between him and the plate, he might have made a dash for it.
Yeah, because the catcher was up.
Catcher came up to third base, right?
Third base, yeah. And I don't know where the pitcher was. The pitcher was probably backing up a play somewhere.
I mean, I've watched a lot of youth baseball this summer. I've seen a lot of Keystone Cop type plays, but that right now to this point, that was the base running highlight of the year for the Indians so far.
And you got what about the Orioles, Joe? I mean, that is they're playing like they want to get their manager fired. I know he's kind of, he doesn't have too much to do with this rebuilding thing, but boy, oh boy, they just make 2 or 3 errors every night, it seemed like.
Well, he did get run out of the game on Monday, the first opportunity he had. So, that was, not a good situation in Baltimore, and they always seem to be rebuilding. So, take it for what it is. All right. Again, let's, sort of look ahead. This weekend, we said the pitching rotation, Mejia, Quantrill, and Henches. Don't be surprised to see guys like Brian Shaw or Nick Sandlin coming into games in the 4th or 5th inning now as we move forward. This is the way that it's going to be. And guys like Trevor Stephan, who until this point had only been pitching in games where the Indians were behind or the game was out of control. A Rule 5 guy who you're trying to get him innings and sort of sneak him through the season. Trevor Stephan yesterday was in there pitching with a lead. Don't be surprised to see that as well.
Yeah, because I think, those are the kind of guys that can come in and give them an inning and a third or 2 innings. Shaw and Sandlin and Stephan, those, because they really don't have a long guy to bridge the gap. So, you've got to get some two.
Their long guys are the ones starting.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. And we'll just see how it goes, Joe. I mean, keep your fingers crossed, and we'll see how far they can take this.
Yeah, Trevor Stephan picking up his first major league win yesterday, just because the Eli Morgan didn't go the required 5 innings, and the official scorer deemed that Stephan's effort over an inning and 2/3 was worthy of a win. So not the traditional sense that you would want to see your first major league win, but that's one for Trevor Stephan. It's one more major league win than I have, I guess. So
hey, you take them where you get them.
That's exactly, and that was exactly what Tito said. He's like, hey, we'll take any bit of good news that we can get right now.
And they're 10 games over 500.
Right.
Someone said it's the best start in Francona's career since he's been in Cleveland.
It is, yeah. Through 67 games, something like that. 66 games. That's the most wins that he's had. Couple of injury notes. Prior to the game on Thursday, we watched Roberto Perez out on the field throwing. He was throwing to bases from behind the plate, picking up balls and throwing to first, throwing down to second. He looks like he's progressing. Could be soon. He's getting rechecked in Pittsburgh. He and Zach Plesac are actually both getting rechecked today in Pittsburgh by Dr. Graham. So rehab assignments could be forthcoming for both of them. We already mentioned the other day that Franmil Reyes stayed behind. He's going to be doing some hitting with Lake County to assess where he is and when he could start a rehab assignment. The only real bad news right now is Jordan Luplow and Shane Bieber. Those two guys, Luplow on the 60-day injured list. Really, a lot of concern over his left ankle. And, of course, Bieber still in the middle of that, not throwing for 2 weeks before they reassess his shoulder.
Yeah, that's good news on Perez and Perez and Plesac. I think Plesac is a little farther ahead of schedule than they thought he'd be.
Right. Well, if I were Plesac, I'd be raring to go, just knowing that I sort of did this to myself and I cost my teammates all these games. So
You're not kidding.
Help could be on the way. Maybe a week or two after we get through this long 10-game road trip. Hoynesy, we will hook up with you again on Monday after the weekend. We'll evaluate the Pittsburgh series. We'll look forward to what's going to happen in Chicago for 2 games, and we'll talk to you then on the Cleveland Baseball Talk podcast.
All right, Joe.
You're ready to get back into yoga, so you ordered the essentials, a non-slip mat, yoga blocks to keep balance, and an exercise ball. And you used your Bank of America customized cash rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential yoga gear, noise canceling headphones. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Acast powers some of the world's best podcasts. Here's a show we recommend.
Hi, I'm Jackie Johnson, the Beauty Talk Shock Jock, and I host Natch Beaut, a podcast that explores the self-care space while laughing, yelling, singing, and keeping things cruelty-free. Oh, yeah. I gab with celebs, makeup artists, female indie brand owners, and fellow funny folks about what beauty and self-care mean to them, as well as what's in their bags. Looking good while doing good. We are voting with our wallets. We are buying cruelty-free products, and we are having a blast laughing with our pals while we do it. That's Natch Beaut. This is the Natch Beaut Pod. Welcome, baby.
Listen to Natch Beaut on Acast or wherever you get your podcasts.
Acast recommends.